Hi everyone. Today on my casting testing bench we have Aiyima T9 tube amplifier. This is actually a hybrid amplifier, so it's using tubes as a buffer, and the actual amplification is done by TPA 32 and 50 chip, which is a bit different from regular Chinese amplifiers, because most of them are using TPA 3255. I've read a couple of times already on some forums that there are people that are preferring 3250 over 3255, because they say that 3250 is more detailed, is more precise. So I got this amplifier because I've read that it has great sound, a really great sound. I've read somewhere over the web, actually at Dr. John's cheap tube audio blog, a comprehensive review, and I thought that this is something that I may get to test it maybe for usage in my daughter's bedroom with the speakers that she has there. Why? Because it's very small, it has supposedly great sound quality, it has the remote, which is amazing for the price, and it can be connected from your Bluetooth device. So now the specification. The specification says it's 100 watts per channel output for 4 ohms capable, which I do not believe in even one word of that. It will be as powerful, a little less powerful than the power brick that you'll be supplying the power with. So in my case, it will be maximum 25 watts from my linear power supply here. Okay, let's turn this annoying blinking LED. The build quality. The case is all metal. I really like the look of it. I really like the analog VU meter here. I like the fact that the tubes are being lit from underneath by some kind of orange LED, because that's not the tube glow. The tube glow is up here, the small one. As you can see, it supports Bluetooth connection. Bluetooth connection is done by JL chipset. It supports Bluetooth 5.0. It supports optical input, coaxial input, and it supports PC USB, which basically is a USB port to internal digital to analog converter that's built in. That's probably a C-Media chipset. That's not exactly sure when you're looking at specification at the producer page, but it's probably C-Media CM6542 inside, which is not a common chipset for digital to analog converters in that kind of equipment. Okay, and what's interesting, we also have a set of RCA analog inputs. The clicking you hear is coming from the relay that's cutting the output from the speakers and enabling the output to the speakers. So that's actually a good thing. If it doesn't sense any audio signal, then it's closing the relay and there is no output to the speakers. I'm talking about that because some viewers said that their devices are clicking, which probably means that they are broken. Well, they are not broken. The clicking is actually the good thing. The clicking means that somewhere inside there is a relay or relays that will be opening and closing flow of the current to the speakers or to the different parts of the amplifier inside. So that's actually a good thing, unless the clicking is constant, like click, 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 which means that you have problems with the relay and you should probably service the amplifier. But not in this case. In this case, it works great. So The build quality all metal and the tubes on top. In front we have a view meter, we have input selection control LED. The input selection is done by short click on the power button, because this actually doubles as a power button. If I long press it, I will switch the device off. If I press it shortly now, I'll switch the device on. The knob also doubles or triples as a volume control. So it's a digital volume control. It doesn't stop anywhere. You can turn it around and around and around. We also have bass and treble controls, and they are analog. So they have maximum and minimum positions, but they have this nice clicking quality to them. I mean, you can actually feel the steps of the treble or bass control here. Okay, so let's power this off now. Yep, disconnect the power cable. Ugh. The sides have ventilation holes for the airflow to cool the device inside, although I've never found it getting warm, because Class D amplifiers are very efficient. On the back we have subwoofer or a preamplifier output. You can connect your subwoofer here, or you can connect your headphone amplifier, or you can connect another amplifier in chain to this output. Then we have speaker output connections. These binding posts are quite small in size. They will fit BFA bananas quite well, and they will fit bare wire quite well, but the wire has to be a small diameter wire, as you can probably see now. I wouldn't try to use any spades here, because the posts are quite close to one to another, and I would be afraid of some shorts. Then we have power input. Power input is DC between 18 and 30 volts, and you can buy the device with power brick included, or you can use your own power brick if you happen to have multiple amplifiers based on TPA 52, 55 or 50. Or you can use linear power supply with voltage falling in this range. Then we have USB input for connecting this device to your computer or your Android device or your MacBook. The USB input supports data streams up to 24 bits, 96 kHz sampling rate, which basically is a standard class audio 2 device as far as I remember, so it doesn't require any additional drivers, at least in Windows systems and in Linux systems. Then we have optical and coaxial inputs, digital inputs for your audio signal. These are interesting because these are supporting higher bitrate. These are supporting 24 bits and sampling rate up to 192 kHz. And then we have a set of analog RCA inputs and a connector for Bluetooth antenna that goes here. Okay. So, the device comes with 6K4 Chinese tubes. The big ones, I'm calling them the big ones because the device is also compatible with a wide variety of 6J1 tubes, 6AK5 tubes, etc., which are a bit smaller. I've known these tubes because I've seen them in many tube buffers that you can get on Aliexpres or eBay, and honestly I've always hated them because the sound with them was muddy, not detailed at all, no airiness. Basically, if I can do a demo for you. So this would be the demo of the sound with this tube. If you could hear anything, that was the demo of properties of this tube. But what surprised me is the fact that in this particular case it's actually working fine. It has a really airy, really detailed, a really effortless sound. So I guess that these tubes are either properly driven in this particular implementation here, or maybe something changed on the production line, because these tubes, as far as I know, are still being produced. So these are not any new old stock tubes or anything like that. You can see 6K for marking here. I happen to have a lot of tubes of that type. I might try to even to show you them. Just a second. And here we have my magic box with some mullards, with some General Electric tubes, match sets. I bought them quite a lot of them because they are really good. I have also some RTC French tubes. I also had some Russian tubes, but these are nasty. There will be another video on the tube rolling. These are very nice. General Electric Jan 5654W. You can get them cheaply on eBay or YouTube or in tube stores, and they are quite fine. At some point in time, I've also had Holy Grail Telefunken tubes, but they were actually ridiculously expensive to be used in such equipment. And honestly, they sounded very, very good, but the sound was very close to silicon sound, to transistor sound. So all in all, I've decided to sell them, and now I feel kind of sorry for that, because they are even more expensive now. Now, we won't be looking inside into this device for a very simple and stupid reason. When I was trying to unscrew the screws that you can see in the back, I accidentally damaged the hex cutting on this one. And although I could remove it with some pliers or something like that, I would be risking scratching the case here. And I'm not that interested in seeing the internals, because I found photos on the web. Somebody already had disassembled this device, and the most important thing for me being the answer to the question if I'll be able to change the op-amps inside, and the answer is no. There are two operational amplifiers, NE 5532, so the cheapest variety usually found on that kind of amplifiers, and they are soldered to the PC board, so you won't be able to replace them on your own unless you'll desolder the stock ones and replace them with sockets or maybe the op-amps themselves. So that's it. But now the most important part, the sound quality. Honestly, it's amazing. I got this device for like $80. No, less than $80. It was actually more like $70. Yes, I bought it without the power brick, but it was $70, shipping included. The device has the remote, and it has Bluetooth, and it has this nice VU meter. So the price to quality ratio is amazing, and I'm pretty sure this one will stay for my daughter. I'm almost sure that it will replace the double Aiyima A07 Max that I had prepared for her. Why? Because the sound is not only detailed, transparent, but it's also having this tube quality, but the good side of tube quality, meaning not the muddy, clouded sound, but this delicate and natural highs and mids. I'm still going to do some tube rolling with this one, because it's fun. I love to tinker with my devices. I know it takes some time, but it's my hobby and I like to do it. And since I have the box full of tubes, I will find some time to check which tube will sound best in this device. Details of the sound. Bass is quite precise, it's fast, It's not muddy, so it doesn't bleed into the mids, but it has this nice organic quality. You'll probably be driving some kind of bookshelf speakers with this amplifier, and auxiliary output for the subwoofer will come handy, because bookshelf speakers will work best with some kind of cheap or maybe not so cheap subwoofer. Then the mids. As I said, the tubes are giving this amplifier, this hybrid amplifier, this organic quality to the mids. The human voices, especially female voices, have this tint of magic in them. So you can listen to this amplifier for hours. It's not fatiguing at all. Obviously, it's not as good as the bigger amplifiers that I've reviewed recently, but for such a small device, the quality of treble, the amount of detail that you can retrieve, even with the cheapest tubes that are coming stock, is frankly amazing. As I've said, over the years, I've had a couple of tube buffers. They were coming mostly with these tubes as stock. And in this particular device, these tubes sound very, very good without any tube rolling. I will play with that, but even in the stock form, this is a great setup. So, detail and holography. As I've already said, the detail on this amplifier is quite nice. I was actually surprised because I was expecting that the tubes will be cutting some of the information from the music, from the sound. I was expecting maybe that the frequency response will be fine, that the holography will be fine, but there will be some kind of detail loss. But that's not the case. The sound is nicely detailed. I would say it's on par with other TPA 5255 devices or 5250 devices. As for the holography, it's here. It's not particularly amazing. I mean, it's good for the price. The first thing is that it's good that it's here, that it's even here, because in many of the cheap amplifiers, they will have the good proper frequency response. They'll have nice detail retrieval, but there will be no holography. There will be sound stage, yes, and you'll hear that something plays on the left, something plays on the right, but you won't be able to precisely position the instruments in the depth, in the height, and in the width of the scene. So here, yes, we have stereo scene. The location of the instruments is not pinpoint precise, but it's good enough for your listening sessions. And if you're looking for something that would play some music in the background, you won't be focusing on the location of instruments, so this will be perfectly fine, as this will give you this tube quality to your sound. VU meter is a nice addition. The device, I won't be able to show you this right now because it's middle of the day here and the lighting is quite fine, but during the night, if it's dark outside and inside, this VU meter and this lighting of LED diodes looks really nice. It gives this kind of warm feeling that goes well with tube sound. Okay, I think that's all. One more thing that I wanted to say is that this is a really small device. As you can see, it's smaller than most of other cheap Chinese amplifiers that I reviewed or used. It's smaller than Aiyima A07 Max, it's smaller than Aiyima A07 Pro, it's smaller than Fosse Audio ZA3, so it's quite small. And this is actually a good thing because it means it will easily fit on most of your desks. Bluetooth connection works fine, it's stable, it's easy to connect to this device. USB connection with my Windows machines was also perfectly fine. There was no need to install any kind of driver. The operating system already saw the capabilities of the device, so it was all fine from the start. No hassle involved. I think that's it. I really like this device because it's small and because it sounds very, very good. And I think it's a keeper. You know, some of the devices I buy after I review them or after I use them for some time, when I will find something better, I will usually sell them. But there are some devices that are either so good or have so amazing price to value ratio that will stay with me because there's no point in selling them. I got this device for such a nice price and it has such a good sound quality that I either use it in my daughter's bedroom or give it as a gift, as a present to my younger brother or someone in his family. So, thanks for watching. If I forgot about anything, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be returning in my series to some other reviews of fake and original cables, power cables, interconnect XLR cables, some speaker cables. As you may have seen, I'm also reviewing some headphones because I'm also a headphone guy. So stay tuned, and if you have any questions, just ask them in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you soon.